I could sit and cry that हाय मेरे माँ बाप और मेरे बहन तीनों के इसमें मेरा बहुत बड़ा शनि का इन्फ्लुएंस है, which is true. I do have that in my chart. I could sit and cry and moan about it and feed a cow, do whatever it is, but I chose not to do it. Clinically, only 4% of the human population is actually narcissistic. So stop labeling people as NPD. They're NPD. They're LPD.
Loosely,
right?
OCD,
Loosely.
NPD,
Exactly,
bipolar.
Right? I don't look at your chart and tell you, हाँ आपका ये लाभ होगा, ये होगा, वो होगा. I'm not interested in it. I look at the chart from a perspective of how are you designed? I do not inherit those patterns. I actually inherit warmth. I work on that and I use it as fuel to become a wholly different person. I also can tell you then which are all your shadows.
Combining Vedic astrology with shadow work.
With shadow work and nervous system patterns.
Astrology is a science.
Yes.
It's a study.
Yes.
It's not like, okay, go feed the cow and this will happen.
When it is done for mapping patterns, it becomes at its most powerful. Oh, we do it because log karte aa rahe hai. That's being unconscious. That's being unaware. That's being stupid. I think rituals are so much more about honoring something, right? But it also means that you need to honor yourself by doing your own work.
I'm very excited today to talk to my friend Aditi Nirvan, who I have known for almost 2 decades now. Aditi is a therapist and she's been practicing for more than 21 years. And she has trained in 20 different modalities, right? From NLP, Qigong, somatic breath work, nervous system mapping. Learning doesn't end for her, but she specializes in shadow work. As a therapist, we all love to kind of have a great toolbox. And when you have different modalities to play with, the way you bring them together, like in this conversation, Aditi and I explore how she brings together Vedic astrology, nervous system mapping, and shadow work. So let's jump right into it to listen. So, Aditi, also talking about patterns, we go back to how we break the patterns for the founders, leaders, like you were talking about.
So first and foremost, why particularly this group of people? People like you and me are normal people. We also have patterns, obviously, right? But we don't have that level of pressure and performance that leaders have, that founders have, that even creatives who are in the spotlight have, right? They come with a different pressure. Okay. When you do not look at your patterns, when you're in that pressure, a lot of shadow aspects start blowing up in your face on a regular basis, and you become very dysregulated. You become snappy, you become annoying. Then you resort to things like authority, control, power, pain, all of those things as a way to survive.
So you're on your survival mode.
You're only in survival mode then. And then you burn out very fast, which is why I see a lot of artists and a lot of so-called people's heroes nowadays, just deciding that they've done. They're hanging their hat because they're tired, they're burnt out. They can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
Because they have been dysregulated for so long, because they have been in survival mode for so long. Yeah. So what is exactly happening? You have all of these patterns that you come with, and these patterns you've not been able to look at, and if you've looked at them, you're not able to break them. Take all of that and put yourself under pressure.
Wow.
Which is why I want to talk only to this group of people, or I do talk to this group of people. But what I do is slightly unusual. What I understand is, what all did you do to survive? Due to which these patterns got created. And then these patterns became your mechanisms to be in the world, became your platform. It became a way for you to show up in the world. And now there would be a fear of breaking them, because it would mean that I have to completely change. And while I'm under pressure, they require hand-holding. Right? So that's where I also combine Vedic astrology. I literally show the person, and not Vedic astrology is used mostly as a predictive tool. I don't look at it at all as predictive. I don't look at your chart and tell you, हाँ आपका ये लाभ होगा, ये होगा, वो होगा. I'm not interested in it. I look at the chart from a perspective of how are you designed? right? How is your parents' houses? What are the patterns that you learned there? Yeah. So looking at all your houses, your planets, your lots of layers in astrology, looking at all of those layers, I understand who you are as a human being. I also can tell you then which are all your shadows.
Combining Vedic astrology with shadow work.
With shadow work and nervous system patterns.
That's a
So you
beautiful
may,
combination.
yeah, because what will happen then is that if you may be in a survival mode, but which survival mode are you in? Are you in a freeze where you tend to numb out? Are you in a flight where you tend to escape? Are you in a fight where you're controlling, manipulating, and using anger as a way to get things done? Or are you in a fawn, which is a people pleaser? Are you in a combination of these? And which one where exactly in your life? So it combines all of this together, and literally you get like a complete download of who you are as a person and how we can come out of it. So it's an end to end. I'm covering the entire spectrum of the human patterns actually with a person then. So that the next time you're pushed under pressure, you're not performing anymore. You now get a chance to be authentically yourself and you have the courage to live that.
To stand by what you believe in.
Absolutely. And now you're not controlled by your patterns and your shadows anymore. You're free of them because you've seen them, you've understood why they were there, you understood that they were all survival mechanisms and you don't need it anymore.
Yeah, that's the key again. It's like, do I even need them now?
No, you don't.
So if I don't,
Because-
then why am I still? It's just a pattern. I'm
Yes,
using it. So I have to,
You have to
in
break
layman language,
Yes.
I have to break it to come out
Absolutely.
of it. So just going back to what you spoke about Vedic astrology, okay? Astrology is a science.
Yes.
It's a study.
Yes.
It's not like, okay, go feed the cow and, this will happen. Go on
Those are
Saturday.
rituals.
Huh.
Those are the rituals that a lot of astrologers tell people to do. I don't get into that, right? Because honestly, astrology is not so much about fixing this from external ways. You get it? And also, they were designed for a different time. Right? Like,
Ancient,
yeah, I
long
remember like
back.
many years ago, there was an astrologer who told I think my grandfather or somebody that, you have to go feed a cow on Fridays and this and that. And what? Something with a donkey. They're like, Bombay mein donkey?
donkey?
kahan milega?" It's like they're not exactly roaming
I've heard
around the
cows
entire
and
place.
crows
Yeah.
and all. I've never
But
heard of
something-
a donkey.
I vaguely remember this and I
Huh.
remember laughing.
Huh. Did he find one?
No. My grandfather said, Chodo, it's too much. Right? And he used to read charts. So I guess my interest in it came from there because when he would read charts, I would be sitting in his lap, and he'd be showing me, and I'd be, whether I understood or know anything at that age, I have no idea. But he had also read my chart and he had told me things at that time. And I was like, very interesting. So I was always fascinated with astrology, like a lot of us were, I guess, at some point. We all read Linda Goodman but we did it because we wanted to know, will this guy like me or not?
Yeah,
You know,
I think
and-
when we were in college, it was a very in thing.
In
What
thing.
star sign are
What
you?
star
Oh,
sign?
you're like this.
Exactly,
Oh, you're
right?
a Leo.
Yeah. So this is not about that at all. It's not your quintessential astrology, the way people, it's not your commercial astrology. Astrology can be used for a ton of different things. When it is done for mapping patterns, it becomes at its most powerful,
Okay.
right? So I'll give you a simple example. In my chart, right, I have my 9th house is Cancer with Saturn sitting in it.
Okay.
Right? Now that's the house of the father. So this combination with a few other combinations gives me a difficult relationship with my father. Right? Now, an astrologer will scare you with it, right? And say, फिर आपको ये उपाय करना पड़ेगा, ये करना पड़ेगा,
Feed
वो
a donkey.
whatever. Feed an elephant, I don't care, right? Milk a donkey.
I have no idea. Do
Right?
something.
Right. Now, I am not bashing what they tell
Correct,
you, right?
correct.
But it's not applicable today. And also, when you tell a person who's more scientific minded these things, then I don't want to do all this, please.
Yeah.
Right?
And
There's-
if you do anything without believing in it, it's
it doesn't
anyways
work.
not going to
It
work.
doesn't
for you.
work.
Yeah,
Exactly,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
But now, if I look at the same chart from the perspective that I do, what are the patterns that you inherited because you have a difficult relationship with your father? How did you survive in the world? What all did you do because this is there in your chart?
Okay.
Right? Which automatically means you'll have a problem with authority.
Hmm.
Yeah, you'll have a problem with the masculine at the starting part of your life, right? How do you get out of those patterns? How do you not do male bashing?
Hmm.
Because you actually want your bash your dad in, but you can't,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then there is anger as an energy. How do you deal with that? How do you regulate your emotions? Correct? Then I have a moon sitting in Pisces, right? It makes me very emotional, right? But then I was in a freeze response for so many years, which meant that I felt everything, but I couldn't label what I was feeling.
Did not express it.
Did not express it. So all of these patterns that came up, when they show up in your chart, but you look at them through the lens of shadow work and nervous system mapping, you're hitting a whole different layer of yourself. You're literally looking at your DNA now, the way you're designed. And I do sessions for people called Destiny Map, right? Where it's about exploring all your dark shadow aspects through your chart, embracing your gold fully. I make them make that journey as a leader, as a founder, as an entrepreneur, creator, whatever work you are in. Because your chart will also show the work you do. It will show that.
So, just like a layman, okay? Because I don't know much about astrology.
Yeah.
So, your chart will not change.
Never.
It's going to be what it is. You know, at the
Absolutely.
time of your birth, whatever was that,
Yeah.
it's going to remain.
Absolutely.
But by understanding this and by working on these patterns, when you change as a person, how does then that kind
So
of work?
one of the aims of astrology is also that the chart you came with is also the stuff you have to get over. A lot of people think that your chart is your destiny. It's not.
Using your chart, you can create.
You can recreate yourself and come out of it. That is the purpose.
So instead of feeling that, oh, now this is what is in my chart and this is what is going to happen.
We become defeatist.
Yeah, we get into the victim. Oh, my chart is like this.
हाँ, मेरे नसीब में है ऐसा.
I'm the victim.
It is not your naseeb. It is the starting point of your life.
Yeah. So you need to get out of that victim role
Yes.
and figure what's working for you, what's not working for you, change
Absolutely.
those patterns. And like you
Absolutely.
said, look at the survival patterns. Do you even need it today?
Yes.
It's just become a habit.
Yes. And the best part is that so much of our Vedic books and everything are so beautifully interconnected. There isn't a single place in all of it where it dictates that there is no learning. It's all about learning. How do you exclude Vedic astrology, which is such a big part of it, to not have learning? Your chart is your starting point to learn more about you, more about yourself, your patterns, and what you need to come over in this lifetime. I could sit and cry that हाय हाय मेरे माँ बाप और मेरे बहन तीनों के इसमें मेरा बहुत बड़ा शनि का इन्फ्लुएंस है, which is true. I do have that in my chart. I could sit and cry and moan about it and feed a cow, do whatever it is, but I chose not to do it. What does it mean? It means that I come from an authoritative, structured environment, from an environment that is also cold to a certain extent. But Shani also represents coldness. It's a slow-moving planet. It's a cold planet. Which means that what? I do not inherit those patterns. I actually inherit warmth. Yeah, I work on that and I use it as fuel to become a wholly different person. Today, I'm completely different from all these three other members of my family. I don't have any traits or anything like them at all anymore. While I love them and there is a difficult relationship with them, my mom passed on. But, right, I don't hate anybody. But I've understood our differences and I've made peace with it. I'm not a victim to it now.
Yeah. Neither are they.
Neither are they.
It's
Absolutely.
like, when you understand it.
And I understood, boss, they didn't have a choice also. They are.
Probably they do not understand what I have now.
Absolutely. And I don't need them to. Because my growth is for me, not for them.
Yeah.
Their growth is for them.
Also talking about rituals, like we were saying that many a times it's like Chinese whispers. It's just getting passed on from one generation
Yes.
to the other. Today, the children will question. If you
Not
want
just
me
children.
to do this, why do you want me to do this?
Yes.
What will I get if I do this?
Yes.
Give me the logic and the science
Yes.
behind it
Yes.
for rituals.
Yes.
That's also becoming
Of course.
a question that's coming up a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
nowadays.
In fact, it's so funny. So many of our rituals are so beautiful. And most of the time, when someone asks me, would you like to be a part of it? My first question is still this: what is it? Why is it? Why do we do this? Why now? Where did it come from? Who started it? Who told you this is the right way to? I do, and I'm not being defiant. I'm being curious.
Yeah.
But it is usually perceived as defiance. And I have a problem if you cannot answer. Right? So I won't do it because it doesn't fit my narrative.
Correct.
Right? So here at this point, a lot of people don't realize that, oh, we do it because log karte aa rahe hain.
Yeah.
That's being unconscious.
Yes.
That's being unaware. That's being stupid. Right? And it doesn't mean that the ritual is bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? I'm sure it's lovely.
Yeah.
Right?
And there is a reason
Of
for
course.
every ritual. If you
Exactly.
go back and
Yes.
check
At that point, there was a science behind it.
Yeah.
Right?
something as simple as, like we were talking, that during periods when females were said that you be in a separate
Yes.
room, and,
That's a great example.
it's,
And it actually gave the woman a break.
Yeah.
She got a chance to be with her body.
Yeah.
It was lovely. I don't think there was anything wrong with it.
because
But
they were
what it
working
has
in the
become,
farms, they were doing things like
physical
they didn't have
labor.
the electronics we have today, like a
Yes.
micro or a mixer, or
Yes.
you can order Swiggy, Zomato,
Yeah,
and you can
yes.
call for food.
Yes.
So the whole purpose of this ritual was to give them rest.
Yes.
So if we don't, we tend to forget the reason and the logic behind it.
And also the fact that we live in a different era.
Yes.
Yeah. I feel that so many of the rituals are outdated. Right? They don't apply to our time. Right? I know this also simply, okay, so I'm married into a Marwadi family. And they are very big on culture, rituals. Like every season is honored. So when, my husband or my mom-in-law tell me about this, it's beautiful. Right? But I'm like, but we don't have seasons the same way we used to.
Yeah.
We're still honoring an ancient tradition.
Which we were following.
Yeah, when those seasons were the way they were, they arrived on time. Right now, everything is all over the place.
Yeah.
And our bodies are confused. So are we actually still doing the right thing for our bodies? Are we still eating the right foods at the right time? I think it needs to be questioned. No one is questioning this.
Yeah.
So I'm not definitely saying, oh, don't do it. But definitely question whether it's still working or
Question,
not.
understand, and maybe if you need to change some things there,
Yeah.
you can change it and
Yeah.
you can look at it.
And I think most importantly, don't think that that can fix your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is in no way a means to fix your life. I think rituals are so much more about honoring something, right? But it also means that you need to honor yourself by doing your own work.
Yes.
You can't run away from, taking responsibility for the way you behave, for your own patterns, and then thinking that this ritual can be a replacement for it. But that's exactly what people do. And that's where the problem happens. I've had friends that, oh, I didn't make money, so I went to this Pandit and I paid him 23,000. I said, you paid him 23,000 when you didn't have money? Where did the money come from? You should have given it to me. I would have done work for you. But jokes aside, she said that, no, he, promised that all the pipelines that were clogged would be opened. It's been 2 years. I think she has more pipelines that are now clogged.
Yeah. So I think this whole blind faith or
Yes.
not understanding, or, we're not here to say that astrology is wrong. No, it's a science. It's correct. It's beautiful.
It is the ill-informed, uneducated astrologers that have made it wrong.
Yeah.
The science is not wrong, right? Is it little outdated? Yes.
Yeah. Maybe it needs updation for sure.
I don't know if it can be updated now.
Yeah, but at least a little more
Right.
reasoning and logic around
Yeah,
it to
because
understand it better.
Everything has changed. Our whole life has changed. Look at the way we live.
Yeah.
We're no longer even connected to the earth.
Yeah.
We live in concrete buildings, and surrounded by electronics. And where is the connection to the earth anymore?
True.
Yeah. People don't even eat seasonal fruits anymore. Some fruits are available through the whole year, and that's not right.
Yes. Yeah. Everything is changing.
So I don't know how something like, Vedic astrology or anything can adapt to the way we live right now. I don't even know if it's adaptable.
Yeah.
So the only way I look at it is, okay, here is actually the heart of it. That it tells me who this person is. And I focus only on that then. It's all about taking responsibility for yourself. And I'm interested in working with those people who want that for
Own
themselves.
it up.
Yes. Who want to be a better leader,
Hmm.
who actually want to create a fantastic impact out in the world, to do work which is coming from their heart, from their alignment. It's coming from integrity,
Hmm.
right? And that makes a huge difference. And I do already use Vedic astrology for it
Hmm. In the destiny map that
in the
you're talking
destiny map.
about.
Yeah.
Great. You also mentioned about nervous system mapping, Vedic astrology, and shadow work. That's a
Yes.
beautiful combination.
It's actually connected beautifully because one tells you about the other. All of them speak for the other. Shadow work tells me about the person's nervous system. Vedic astrology tells me about their shadows. Right?
So it's like the three talk to each other.
They all talk to each other beautifully. And if you know what to look for, then it tells you everything. It tells you the whole story of the person, all three of them.
And you're doing more work in nervous system mapping.
I'm also doing more work in nervous system mapping. So very soon I'll be launching a program called Neurosomatic Breathwork because I think we are at our most frozen point in our life in terms of our nervous systems. I must share, yesterday I saw this beautiful video of a baby, I think must be 3 or 4 months old, cradled in its mom's arms, wearing diapers, and the mom started singing Eva Maria. Such a beautiful song. And the baby, was like with wide eyes just staring at her. And then within 3-4 seconds of her singing, full big tears coming down. Doesn't understand anything, right? Because the mind is not developed yet.
Correct.
The nervous system, the body is feeling it. Yeah, Eva Maria is a very uplifting yet very deep emotional, devotional number, right? The child felt it in the body.
Wow.
So we have it in us. Our bodies pick up everything, all information constantly through the day. And we are in either a freeze, flight, fight, or fawn response, or a combination of these, right? And all of those combinations show up personality traits. Like you asked earlier about personality, right? And that's how our nervous system shows up. But then again, these are survival mechanisms. Nowadays, the Gen Z and millennials, they talk a lot about avoidant personality, right? This is a term that only people who did psychology knew, 15, 20 years ago. But now, oh no, this person is a very avoidant person. This person is a narcissist. This person is this.
Tags. Oh, God.
Lots of them, right? So first of all, I keep telling people that, clinically, only 4% of the human population is actually narcissistic.
Yeah.
People may have traits of narcissism, but it doesn't mean that they're narcissistic. And there's a big difference in those two, right? So stop labeling people as NPD. They're NPD, they're NPD.
Loosely.
Right?
OCD,
Loosely.
NPD,
Exactly, right?
bipolar.
So, and people also say, oh, I'm very bipolar that way. Don't do that. Right? So what is happening right now? Because people are there's so much anguish trying to understand, why am I messed up? Why am I feeling so much in my body? Right? I must be this. So they pick one which sounds closest to what they are. Or they want to define a person in their life who's actually having trauma. So, I get a wife who comes and says, my husband is definitely NPD. I'm like, have you got him clinically diagnosed? No, I know. Fair enough. I'm not going to debate that right now. Okay. What does he do? When she describes what he does, he's a classic freeze response, which can also be mistaken for narcissistic.
Correct.
And I told her, do you know that narcissistics are actually closeted empaths? No. No, I can't believe it. I said, when narcissistic people are also formed because an empath who's been very severely traumatized again and again by another narcissist turns into one. So the whole concept that an abuser was a victim once is very hard for people to digest. But these are what? These are also nervous system patterns. If you grow up in a household where there is conflict, you will avoid conflict all your life.
Yeah.
You will run away. The moment there is an argument, you will
don't
run
want to be
away.
a part of it.
Right? If someone even comes and shouts and yells at you, your throat will jam up. Because you're like, I've lived in that environment all my life. I don't want to get into this right now. Freeze.
Also, interestingly, so many times the patterns that we hate the most are the
Yes.
ones we pick.
Yes.
It's like, mom does this or dad does this, and I hate it. And then one fine day, you're like,
When you're in
"I'm
your
doing
40s, you're
the
like, I've
same.
become my mom.
What's wrong with me?
Yes. Very
I'm
true.
repeating it. I
Yes.
didn't want this.
Yes.
I didn't like this.
Yeah.
Whatever those few patterns are.
True.
But yeah, that happens.
All these are nervous system responses. And how much of it our body decides how we react. When we watch something which is beautiful or which is emotional, we are like, why am I crying? You know, it's your body. It's your body that's responding. There are some people that you physically feel comfortable with because their systems are regulated and they regulate your system.
They give you that safe space.
Why do we love hugging animals and petting animals? Their systems are usually quite regulated compared to ours. That's why hugging an animal feels like, this is silent. Their heads are silent.
Yeah.
They give us something. They give us a gift of regulation. Yeah. Or when you sit with a very elderly person, someone who's in their 80s, 90s.
Very composed.
Quiet, right? And their skin is so soft.
Yeah,
And
there's a stillness around.
there is, and there is an innocence. You can see that they've gone back to innocence.
Child, being that child.
That. Why do you feel good sitting and chatting with them? They regulate your nervous system. Music does that. Certain cinema does that. Books do it. Sometimes you listen to a conversation that does it for you. Right? Why do we love meditation? System regulates for a short period of time.
So when you also talk about nervous system mapping with breath work.
Yeah.
So again, breath work is a lot to do with how you...
Yes. It has everything to do with regulating your nervous system.
So Aditi, in today's time, with the way things are happening around us, can you help with an exercise that, people can do wherever they are, or talk about a little thing that
Sure.
I can do for just regulating myself?
Absolutely. So I think if you find yourself in a panic situation or you're very afraid for some reason, right? Or you're deeply stressed out. Okay. So if you work in a office, for example, just run to the bathroom. Okay. Hide yourself in the closet for 5 minutes. Okay. Close the lid, sit on the pot. Okay. And do what is known as box breathing. Box breathing is very simple. Inhale at the counts of 4.
Yeah.
Hold for the counts of 4.
Yeah.
Exhale at the counts of 4. And then again, inhale at the counts of 4. Right? And continue this till you feel like you want to yawn. Yeah. Or you might start yawning involuntarily. Don't be afraid. Nothing is wrong. That's your nervous system regulating.
But I don't need to wait for that yawn, right? It may happen, it may not happen.
Yeah.
Someone might sit there wondering that, okay, I'm still not
absolutely.
yawning. So
Absolutely.
that could
It can
happen.
also-
It
It can also be suddenly there is an absence of, the entire running thoughts that you had earlier.
You feel the switch.
You feel the switch.
Yeah.
It starts quietening inside.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a lot of people don't realize how much we live through our bodies. But we do nothing to take care of it. Breathwork is the one singular thing that brought us here, is going to take us out.
Yeah. True.
And it is the primary regulator of our bodies. I mean, yoga, Tai Chi, they have been doing this for years, right? They do regulate the nervous system to a great extent while you're doing it. But they don't help you control the other parts of your life. I've also been trained in yoga. My mother was a yoga teacher for 40 years. Okay. So I've lived, eat, breathe yoga every day. And pranayams I've been doing since I was in my 8th or 9th grade, right? Done it all for so many years, but still it didn't work as deeply the way I wanted it to. So the breathwork I do now is more neuroscience based, right? Taking into account, polyvagal system, your primary vagus nerve, understanding the repercussions of our patterns on our own body.
Correct.
Right? The environments that we live in, the environments that we work in, interact in, what are the relationships we have right now that are also defining our nervous system?
And you're busy moving from one environment to the other constantly.
all the time.
There's too
Now
much on your
imagine there
plate.
is a man or a woman living in a traumatic environment for 30 years. What must their nervous systems be like? Yeah, their shadow aspects are separate. What patterns they would have developed to survive in that space.
Yeah.
And then the body adapts to it. And then people wonder, why do I have autoimmune disorder? Very recently, just like last week, I read about how now autoimmune disorder is directly linked to people pleasing. And that's a shadow aspect I've been teaching for years.
The people pleaser role.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And everything you wanted to say, but you never said. The anger that remained deep inside now gives rise to autoimmune disorders.
Yeah. We don't please ourselves first. We are busy pleasing.
We listen to everybody else. We don't listen to our inner voice.
Yeah.
So that's an important discovery because it shows you how the body has adapted and how it's messed up. So which is why this work is so critical for people, because when you're doing Destiny Map with me, and if you're especially under a lot of pressure, the last thing you want is a disorder or a disease happening. Yeah, and it can happen pretty quickly now because we are already in an overstimulated environment.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, we have terrible coping mechanisms, terrible. Like people go off to sleep, they drink alcohol. Oh, you don't drink, what's wrong with you? What's wrong
it's
with
because-
you? That you need to damage your liver for this. Right?
Oh, yeah. I hear that a lot. What's wrong with you? It's just one. Just have it. I don't need it.
I don't need it, exactly.
I mean, you need it to reach a state where you feel that, okay, I'm happy or I'm not worried. I'm already feeling
No,
that,
it is to take the masks off. It's like my masks are off. I don't have any masks right now.
Yeah, so I don't
Right?
need
So
it.
people do that. Then there's obviously the typical addictions that happen. One of the ones that people really fail to realize is scrolling. Endlessly scrolling, doom scrolling, right? Oh, it has a whole different effect on the mind. Right? And kids are doing it. Teenagers are doing it. And it's really scary.
Yeah.
Right? So nervous system, again, why? Because scrolling is numbing out. It's completely numbing out. And they think that, oh, I'm just relaxing. No, you're not.
Yeah.
You're messing up your nervous system even more.
Yeah. I would say the best addiction to have is self-work.
I think the best addiction is to have no addiction, ideally. But if it had to come close, then self-work, yes.
Yeah, I
Most
think that's a good
definitely.
addiction. Work on yourself,
Yes.
improve yourself, be a better person.
Yeah.
You know, when you look in the mirror, love your versions, the 2.0, 3.0.
Yes. Where you're expecting everyone else to love you.
Yeah,
Try it first. with
Try it
you.
first with yourself.
True.
Love the person you see in the mirror
Yes.
first.
Yes.
You know, this was an amazing conversation, Aditi.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
That's so much fun.
Same here. We just, it was like beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. I think it's one of the best podcasts I've done.
Thank you.